Hi, I'm Russell D. Jones.
I'm Kevin Davies.
And we're here with D6 Mafia talking about the spoilers from Born of the Gods. And these are our spoiler release for the 21st, correct?
Yes, 21st.
Yes.
And this would be Tuesday, the 21st. Let's dive right in.
Do it.
So the first one we're going to look at is a rare. It's the Hero of Lena Tower. It costs 1 green. It's a human warrior. It's 1 green for a 1/1. And it has heroic. Whenever you cast a spell that targets it, you can pay X. And if you do, you put X 1/1 counters on her.
Wow.
I think it's pretty solid.
It is.
It's one of the better heroic creatures that I've seen, especially in this set so far.
Yeah, a lot of potential. Green obviously has tons of ramp.
Yeah.
And this guy, with your extra mana, now you got something to dump it into.
Yeah, it basically, you can kind of, if you're attacking with this creature, turn a pump spell into a fireball in a weird way.
Mm-hmm.
A giant growth sort of turns into green fireball as long as it gets through. And
Yeah, I mean, you slap something on him that gives him trample, and
especially
something cheap.
trample. There's some pump spells out there that give trample and all that.
Yeah,
so,
I mean that's kind of, I would say that's the big one, something that makes him unblockable or gives him trample. So
yeah.
Watch out, Simic decks. Add that blue, get unblockable. Go.
Yeah. Okay.
No, but seriously, Devotion to Green has not really been a big deck, and I think that this fits pretty well into your first turn drop slot.
I think this works well in any sort of. I mean, especially in an aggressively minded green deck that runs some bestows or just some creature pump or anything.
Well, I'm just talking about straight devotion, that kind of thing. Yeah, with some light creature pump. I'm not really super impressed with Experiment 1. I don't really like it as a 1-drop. That's
fair.
I've had not had good luck, so I like this guy a lot better for turn 1.
I've had some pretty tremendous results with Experiment 1. So I don't know. He's kind of circumstantial. He's either really good or
maybe
he doesn't
limited,
do much.
but
but I mean, I had a constructed deck that ran him for a little bit.
Did you?
And it was okay. Anywho.
Yeah, but he's great. He's great for ramping, throwing some mana dorks, and get your big stuff out there. Devotion.
Yeah. Question: what devotion does Green have that really makes use of this guy besides Nylea, of course?
It's the other big one is the mana one, which of course the name escapes me right now. It's like green and 3 for
she generates green. Yeah.
Mana.
Okay. The name is escaping me as well. Karametra's Acolyte. That's right.
There we go. I'd like to see it because this is green devotion has not really made a splash, so this could help.
We'll see. Yeah.
Maybe some Selesnya, aggro.
Perhaps. Yeah, actually, that would work well.
Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have next is the Spiteful Returned. It's a black creature for black and 1 for a 1/1 enchantment creature zombie, and it is another bestow creature. And I actually like this bestow creature. So
cool.
The abilities on it are whenever Spiteful Returned or enchanted creature attacks, defending player loses 2 life. Then enchanted creature also gets +1/+1 normal. The bestow cost is 1 black and 3 colorless. So actually very well costed, I think, for a bestow creature.
Yeah.
And I like the ability.
Yeah, the effect is great if you get that on something with some evasion or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's cool. He's also, he's a 2-drop that technically swings for 3 if you just throw him out turn 2. I mean, he's super squishy, so maybe that's not the best play. But,
no, but not terrible.
Yeah, he's solid, especially, I think he'll be winning some games in limited, or at least contributing to that.
As soon as if you can throw it on something that's hard to block, something with flies, something intimidate, anything like that. I mean, it's just going to be an extra boost of damage. I mean, extra 3 damage.
Yeah, you can basically
turn.
Yeah, exactly.
So
but that's all I got for
cool.
him.
The art's really excellent. I'll just point that out.
Yeah, the art is very cool. It's a good zombie art.
Cool.
Okay. So next up we have the Vanguard of Brimaz. He is a 2/2 white cat soldier, and he costs 2 white mana. He's got vigilance, and he's got heroic. Whenever you cast a spell that targets him, you can put a 1/1 white cat soldier with vigilance into the battlefield. So again, there's some white cat soldiers with vigilance popping up.
That generate cat soldiers with vigilance.
With vigilance, yeah.
Yeah, the second one, I think we've seen in this set.
Yeah, we have
So
our big legendary guy, Brimaz, and then his vanguard also makes
How appropriate.
I know, right?
For uncommon, not bad. I mean,
it's good.
Double white always just, at least in this set, always kind of screams devotion.
Yeah.
Obviously. Not bad costed. 2/2 for 2 with vigilance and a heroic ability. So it's a kind of a lot of bang for your buck.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of stuff in this set generates tokens. We've seen
there is a decent amount of token generating stuff
in white,
this
at
set,
least,
especially in white.
interesting. I mean, we're really seeing a strong push for some white weenie.
Yeah, I'm hoping that White Weenie might actually get the tools to give it a little bit of a comeback here.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would make me happy. That's one of my favorite deck archetypes.
Cool, but interesting to see more cards kind of like this and see what else White's going to come out with.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Good. All right, it's moving right
Moving
along.
on.
All right, sweet. I'm so excited about this card, and half of mostly everyone else is not.
Yes.
So I'm going to jump into it. This is Whelming Wave. It is a blue sorcery for blue, and 2 colorless. And it says return all creatures to their owner's hands except krakens, leviathans, octopuses, and serpents. Thank you, Quest for Ulah's Temple.
Indeed.
Love it. Yes.
Yeah, the name of this card is so funny because it's just whelming.
Whelming, not overwhelming, not really underwhelming. It's
Just whelmed.
whelmed.
Just whelmed about
it. It is a rare, and I think that has some people unhappy about it. Things to note: it's 1 cheaper than Evacuation, but it's a sorcery versus an instant.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot Evacuation was an instant, so that's why that's cheaper. Okay.
But it's targeted, and it's if you play to it. I mean, it's tough. I mean, you could say it's good and limited. Like if you're in trouble. It can break up devotion, break up tempo a little bit against devotion.
Yeah.
If you're actually playing the creature types, then it doesn't hit you as hard. There is not currently a viable Quest for Ulah's Temple deck that I am aware of.
Well,
but this is a step in the right direction.
Yes. Maybe this will help you on your quest for the Quest for Ulah's Temple.
Right.
Deck.
Now that's been sitting on my to build list for a while now. So, I like it. It's super flavorful. It's a sorcery, but I mean, you think about things like, anything that clears the board and is at sorcery speed, it tends to be about 4 mana.
Yeah, it's right there with Wrath of God and Damnation and all of that.
All that stuff. Except for chances are, if you're playing it, you can, build your deck to where it doesn't hit you as hard. It definitely favors blue regardless. So
I think it's going to see some play, at least in sideboards and stuff, because it can hose specific types of decks very strongly. Other types will just bounce right back.
Yeah, rats in particular. Yeah. After people have been ditching cards, get your rat tokens out there, and
anything that uses tokens, this is awesome for.
Really good. So there's your anti-soldier cat token.
No.
Or my anti-soldier cat token card to owns Jew deck.
Not my Jew deck. Wait.
Careful.
Okay, moving on.
Cool. And we only have 1 card left, so why don't you take it away?
Yeah, so
at long last.
Yeah, it's our last in the cycle of 2-color gods for this set.
Yes.
And this one is Phoenix, God of Deception. Mm-hmm. He is the black-blue god. He costs 3 and then black and blue. Like all the gods, he's indestructible, and like all the 2-color gods, he requires that your devotion to both of his colors, in this case blue and black, be greater than 7 for him to be a creature. So if it's less than 7, he's not a creature. Then he's a 4/7 when he is a creature, and he also has the ability, regardless of whether he's a creature or not, that creatures you control have tapped. Target player puts the top X cards of his or her library into his or graveyard, where X is that creature's toughness.
Yeah. Probably should have seen this coming, but I was not expecting a mill mechanic off of the last guy.
I was expecting some kind of grindy mill thing, just because that sort of tends to be blue-black shtick.
Yeah, totally in the wheelhouse. Not out of character, absolutely fitting. So from what I've read, a lot of back and forth about this guy.
Yeah, it's tough.
Some people hate all over him, like, another mill card, blah, blah, blah. And other people are like, wow, mill maybe trying to make a comeback.
Yeah, there are people out there who will just poo-poo pretty much any mill card that gets released ever. Some people just hate mill and never think it's a viable thing. But this guy is probably the strongest mill card we've seen printed in a really long time, especially in the right deck.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, there's some decent stuff in the Innistrad block, but this could be really huge. I mean, it's a big mill card.
It is
for sure.
It's
hard to get rid of, and
yeah, it's. I know, at least especially like with Brian, our fellow guy here, he's a big fan of this, and he was kind of disappointed at the lack of mill support that the Dimir Guild got in return to Ravnica.
Since that was
because milling
thing.
is his preferred way of winning.
Speaking of which, this guy actually potentially pairs very well with Lazov, Dimir Mastermind. Can help run his business. And the other one is Consuming Apparition, which might be the best pairing.
Yeah,
this
Consuming
guy.
Works great with this guy because it just makes itself bigger and then hits you more.
Yeah, and if you have, especially if you have some kind of untapping mechanic going on, whatever it may be, then you can pop him a couple times and he basically, gets really huge, really fast.
I mean, mill is tough in constructed at a competitive level, but
Totally.
I'm expecting all kinds of just really fun Friday Night Magic level decks with this guy.
Yeah.
There's going to be all kinds of goofy grind things they're going to try and use this guy as an engine for it. I can't wait to see what people come up with.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I read, the hardest thing with mill right now, unfortunately I can't take credit for this. I read it, but 1,000-year elixir, that is...
Oh, is that still in Type 2?
It's standard right now. So that's, I mean, right there, that's a huge mill hoser. But as the person also pointed out, so is Pithing Needle.
That's true.
So,
and
so I mean, there you go. Maybe there's the
and I mean,
balance.
I don't ever... Yeah, if mill ever becomes dominant enough that
people are
competitive
sideboarding.
decks need to side against it, I'm going to count that as a win for mill.
That's a win. That's a win. If you're actually having to sideboard against mill, then thank you. So, I mean, this is probably not enough to bring mill back, but I can't wait to see what people come up.
Yeah, and he's cool and he's flavorful.
Yeah. And him by himself, we should just point out, if he has devotion, he can mill 7.
He will mill you for
which
7.
Is not insignificant.
Not at all.
So
so I think that's it.
Yeah,
today.
that wraps up a very short list today. So I'm Russell D. Jones.
I'm Kevin Davies.
Thanks for watching.